I wanted to talk a little bit about how to deal with noise in the Autotrader, noise in the market, which is inevitable. There's always going to be noise in the market, vibration, but a lot of this is dependent on time frame. So in the Autotrader, a higher time frame filter can be very effective against noise. The logic of the Autotrader is to go long on a blue bar and short on a red bar, but of course we have filters for that. So here we see the Super Renko 4-tick template that we often show, and it's got a 6-tick higher time frame. And you can see that these short trades were avoided, but here this long trade was actually a loser. If I tighten up the chart, the Super Renko 6-tick can be sensitive at times, so there can actually be noise even in the higher time frame. It's pretty effective, but if we switch to an even higher time frame, such as 60-minute, we get a much different looking chart as the higher time frame. The 60-minute goes for much longer periods, and here I have set the exits to use the precision trend exit, meaning we're going to exit if we get red bars within the higher time frame, such as you see here. And this actually yielded a pretty nice looking chart, and the back test looks superior as we're catching these kinds of swings. All of these swings here, you know, you will get an occasional losing trade like this, but typically the losses will not be large. And if we look at the strategy performance on this, it looks pretty good. It looks better than the Super Renko 4 with the 6-tick higher time frame looking back. And so although this is just going back a total of 73 trades, it looks like it was 68% profitable with a profit factor of 3.5. That's pretty strong and a very minimal drawdown. But of course, as I frequently say, back tests are not 100% accurate. You have to take this with a grain of salt. In any case, a large higher time frame like this can work and be beneficial. And I'm just going to show you the settings here. So the base chart has a sensitivity of 1.4, and the higher time frame sensitivity is actually 1. And then our trade management is fairly conservative. First target at 16 ticks, just a limit order with a 1-tick pullback, and a goal of 1,000. So this actually looks pretty good. Hello everyone, today is Wednesday, January 16th, 2019, and it's 2:16 p.m. Making the video kind of early today. On my right is my computer clock. You can see the date and time, and on my left is the time and sales, the E-mini S&P, currently trading at 2623.75. A really good day for the Autotrader today. First up is the DAX on a Super Renko 14-tick, and this is the one with the higher goal of 3550. A while ago I had it set at 5,000 and I lowered it, and the reason for that was because there was much more volatility. And so setting your goals and your loss limits is really important, and I believe all of these can be improved on most charts I have, probably lower profit loss limits, and you'll only know that by being a good observer and looking at your equity highs and lows for the day and when they were made. In this case, our goal was hit. It's a limit order with a 4-tick pullback, and pretty nice trades here. The usual winners bigger than the losers. That's what you want. You want an automated strategy that has the ability to absorb losers. So here we have basically 4 winners and 3 losers, and you can see our equity curve. We didn't draw down to the negative today, and very nice trades, ending up hitting our goal. Okay, the DAX on a 987 Heikin-Ashi chart. This is the 3rd day in a row that it hit its goal. The goal on this is 1550, so it hit its goal and had positive slippage. And you can see our limit order getting filled here, and it's just a limit order with a 3-tick pullback. and I'm actually using the NASDAQ 987 tick chart, except that I have not changed the entry to 3 a.m. It's set at 9:30, so I guess I just tried these settings and haven't tweaked them at all. This is just a completely different template. So this is trading off the U.S. session and not the early session. So I think I'm going to change that to the 3 a.m. session, but it's certainly working well in just the U.S. session. That's why we only see a single trade here. Okay, the E-mini S&P on a 987 tick chart. If you're wondering why I use odd numbers like this, 987 is a Fibonacci number, and it's just something I've been in the habit of doing. Not that I'm a super big believer in Fibonacci. It does work to some extent. The goal on this one is 1525 with a 925 loss limit. So that's like, you know, 450 a contract, basically 462.50 a contract is our loss limit. And so this hit its goal and had one tick of slippage. We use a market order when we hit our goal here, but no drawdown, 3 winning trades in a row. Okay, the DAX on a 377 Heikin-Ashi chart, and this just had a single trade here from the well, 3 a.m. is an hour after the Eurex open, and this got filled on its limit order here, and just excellent trade placement out at the low of the session, as you can see here. And this did 1537.50. Our goal on this is 1550 with a loss limit of 1,000. Okay, the crude oil on a Superenco 7 tick was basically sideways for most of the day. Couldn't get above $200, and then this back-to-back winning trades here just before the noon hour propelled it to its goal of 1,200, so a couple of ticks positive slippage. Okay, the E-mini S&P on a Superenco 6 tick did 1387.50 today. It made an equity high of about 1,700, and I used our change real-time settings on the fly to reduce the goals on this. It was 2,000, and I think that's just a little high for 2 contracts, so I basically forced it to stop out at 1350 profit. And so this did pretty good. You can see there was no losers here off the open. There was 5 winning trades in a row, and then, you know, a couple of little losers here, and then here it came back and probably would have done a little better, of course, as you can see here, but I think 2,000, 1,000 a contract, trading 2 contracts is just a little too rich for an E-mini S&P Superenco 6 chart. I probably had this set like that when the volatility was up, but this should definitely be lower. Okay, the E-mini S&P on a Superenco 4 tick, and here is the template on this, and it's got a $1,000 goal, a 1 tick pullback, and trend sensitivity of 1, and no higher time frame filter. So this did pretty nicely. Notice the losing trades were quite small, and 2 nice winners here, and it hit its goal. This is trading 2 contracts. Okay, another E-mini S&P Superenco 4 tick chart, and this is slightly different settings. Limit order with a 2 tick pullback and a $1,000 goal, different profit targets, and this definitely hit its goal and had some slippage. It looks like it was mostly underwater until, well, really just the first 30 minutes of trading. It drew down about $500, and then it recovered from that on this string of winning trades here and ended up hitting its goal. Okay, and finally a Superenco 4 tick chart, and this one has a higher time frame filter of Superenco 6, and this has been pretty consistent. This made an equity high of 400 on this first trade here, and then it was underwater since then and is coming back with this winner here. So it's got a closed P&L at 225 and an open P&L of just a couple of ticks. So remains to be seen how this will finish for the day. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching today.